The Morning Show from your local news leader.
It's time for Friday Flicks, and two family-friendly films are available for viewing this weekend.
That's right. So here to review Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret, and Peter Pan and Wendy is film critic Chuck Koplinski. Chuck, let's just start with Peter Pan.
Okay.
Make another one.
I've been pulling up all the information on Are You There, Margaret? And now you're throwing me a curveball. I want to make sure I get the names right. Yeah, Peter Pan and Wendy. You could have knocked me over with a feather with this movie.
No.
I did not think it's the best thing I've seen this year.
What?
Wow.
The best movie I have seen this year is Peter Pan and Wendy. I didn't expect to say it either. And the thing is, I can't believe that Disney is sending this straight to Disney+. This is a film that is necessary viewing on a big screen, and I regret that I'm never going to be able to see it on a big screen because they spent a lot of money. This is a gorgeous movie to look at, and it takes the familiar tale of Peter Pan and Wendy, but boy, does it put some interesting adult dark twists on this. And there we see, of course, Tinkerbell, and there they are, they're flying. You can fly, you can fly, you can fly, you can fly. Yeah, I remember that song as a kid, and there's that darn dog. All of the things that you remember from this are there. But as I say, there's some twists. This is all about, of course, growing up, and of course, the bitterness that happens when you do grow up. And you're going to see Jude Law here in a minute as Captain Hook. And we get much more of a backstory on Captain Hook. I don't want to divulge too much because there was a couple moments when I actually gasped. But there is a relationship between Hook and Peter Pan in this film that really puts everything in perspective as to why Hook is the way he is. And as I say, this is all about what happens when you grow up and the decisions you have to make. And Wendy is put at that crossroads because her mother at the beginning of the film says, hey, it's time for you to start accepting more responsibility. And she, of course, is resisting this. And Peter Pan shows up, and of course, he refuses to grow up. As I say, this is a gorgeous, gorgeous film. They spent no amount of money on this thing to recreate this classic. And there we see Jim Gaffigan. It shows up too as Smee, and it is, one of the kids says in the boy, that is really a big crocodile, and he ain't kidding. It is a big, big crocodile. This movie, though, is perfect for kids and adults, because like I say, the kids are going to love it, but the adults, you're going to get so much more out of this. This reminded me of a lot of the Pixar films in that they pitch it as a kid's film, but really it deals with adult concerns and what you have to do, the sacrifices you make when you grow up, and that resistance, that temptation we have to pull back and want to be our childlike self. And you got to find that balance somewhere in order to get through. So I'm stunned with how good this film is. I'm stunned with how it moved me. And I'm stunned with the fact that this is the best thing I've seen this year.
Oh, I feel
Loved
like
it.
I'm shocked.
enticing those adults is probably the key to success for the remake here.
Exactly, exactly. And like I say, it's not just remake. They had to have some really interesting additions. So check this one out. I loved it.
On Disney+.
Yeah. All right, and we got Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret?
Did you read that? Have you read it?
I've never read it.
Okay, I heard that it was, necessary reading for all young women when it was coming out. Are You There, Margaret? It's Me, God. Came out in 1972, I believe, Judy Blume, and it is a seminal novel as far as girls growing up. This, too, is a coming-of-age film, just like Wendy and Peter Pan, and there we see our title character, Margaret. Margaret's got problems. She doesn't like her, what's happening to her body. She just moved to a new school. She doesn't have any friends. Oh my God, we're finding out about how our body works. This is just so embarrassing. And, everything is going wrong. As, when you're a 12-year-old, everything goes wrong. The young actress named Abby Ryder Fortson. I want you to remember that name, Abby Ryder Fortson. She is fantastic as Margaret, and oh boy, she's got her first crush and she doesn't know what to do, and oh, a bathing suit, what am I going to do? This, of course, is not a movie pitched towards me.
Right.
This is going to be perhaps on my top 10 list of the year. This one, too. Okay. This is probably the best weekend of movies I've had in a long time. This one, too, is so, so good. And here's the trick to this film. Then we see Kathy Bates as the doting grandmother. The trick of this film is that this could have been played as an after-school special. This could have been very, very obvious in its emotions and things like this. But the director, she finds the exact tone to tape this. Kelly Fremon Craig is the director. It's funny. It's serious, it finds that fine line, and because it finds that fine line, it's sincere and it's honest. You end up caring about this girl. She's also asking questions about religion. What should she believe in? What is the purpose of her life? All of these things. And all of it is handled with such a deft touch. And I ended up being quite moved by this too. And there you see Rachel McAdams. Rachel McAdams, of course, has the other key role as the mom advising her, trying to guide this girl, but also trying to give her enough independence to make her own decisions. This is another good family film. I didn't think we'd have two really good family films in one weekend, but we do. This one you have to go to theaters for. Highly, highly recommended. So a great week for movies.
All right, Chuck, looking forward to both of these. Thank you.